What's up, weirdos? I'm Felicia, and I like scary movies, and today we have a special guest to do some arguing.
Hello, I'm good at that.
Yes, this is Lee from Those Horror Pals. If you haven't yet, please go subscribe to his channel, check out his Patreon. I'm going to say all that up front, because we do a lot of collabs. You're my most collabed with, for sure.
We're state neighbors.
We're state neighbors. It's true. So today, we are finally talking about the most controversial subject of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is Angel versus Spike, which is the original Edward versus Jacob, I'll say.
True. True. Does that make Spike Jacob? Because Spike's like the bad boy?
Yeah, I guess it has to.
Was Jacob the bad boy? I didn't read Twilight.
No, but he's like, he's not bad, but he is like if Edward is the heartthrob love interest, he's like the outsider love interest that's like, you know.
He's the one who's like not like other boys. He's not
like other boys, you know? Spike's just not like other guys.
He's Gordo from the Lizzie McGuire movie, not Paolo.
Oh, Gordo. Are you okay? Is that actor alright? What's he doing?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in years. I always got him and the dude from Chase, the dude who was Chase from Zoe 101 confused.
Yes! You know, it's that hair. It's that luxurious hair. Okay, so I have to start by saying this. So before I rewatched the series again, which I haven't done a full rewatch of in quite a few years, somebody suggested we do this video together. And at that point in my mind, I was still so Team Spike on a level that could not be argued.
Okay.
And then when I rewatched the series, which I will say is I'm trying to think the last time I rewatched it. It must be at least 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's something to do with before my super long-term relationship I'm in now. Maybe that has something to do with it too. I don't know. But rewatching it this time, though I'm still going to argue for Spike today because there's so much I love about him, I understood Angel's love a lot more, I feel like, as an adult than I did as a teenager when I first started watching Buffy.
Okay.
It's like,
That's
I understand. Fair. Like, when I was a teenager, I was like, well, if he really loved her, he wouldn't leave her. You know what I mean? And Spike, I was like, yeah, he's basically stalking her. But to me as a teenager, I was like, that's love, baby. So, I don't know.
Things we think when we haven't had a healthy relationship yet.
Oh my god, of course not. And also, like, I mean, when I started watching this, I think I was with, like, my high school boyfriend. And I was like, this is fine. This Spike, yeah, makes sense.
That's why high school relationships don't count.
I won't go too far into that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, so I guess let's just start off with, first of all, when did you first watch Buffy? Just so I know your Buffy background. And why are you Team Angel? I guess let's just go for it.
So I think I first watched Buffy, or at least I first started watching Buffy, probably about almost 10 years ago.
A decade, as they say.
Almost. Like, I watched it, like, I started watching it shortly out of high school. And then I've rewatched it a lot since then, but yeah, I've always just, I don't know, even before I was like into horror, it would be on TV sometimes, and I'd like watch some of it, and I'd be like, oh, you know what, this is cool, I like this.
Yeah, this is my vibe.
Yeah, and then I finally watched it, I was like, oh, this is sick, I love this.
Oh yeah. So why Team Angel? Have you always been Team Angel? Like your whole life?
I mean, for my whole Buffy watching career, yeah, I've been Team Angel. 'Cause like first of all, I am a self-proclaimed like slut for like the tragic romances and things, and like there's nothing more tragic than the Buffy Angel romance.
So tragic.
Like literally heartbreaking.
Yeah. And then when you watch Angel, it's even more heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're not going into that, though. Yeah, and I am too, because I mean, I did read all of Twilight, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to say that earlier when we mentioned Edward and Jacob. I did love Twilight as a youth. And I was always kind of split between Edward and Jacob, honestly. But the thing about Angel that bothered me so much was that he was always trying to, like, be the adult, which I guess he was, because he's, like, 200-something years old, and Buffy was 16. But I was like, why do you feel like you're the only one that can make any of the decisions in the relationship? And why are you going to leave her alone when she needs you?
That
was always my issue.
That's completely fair. So, can I rebuttal?
Please. That's why we're here.
So, I mean, yeah, I definitely agree on the like him kind of babying her a little. Like,
yeah, babying her.
She proved herself many a time that she was capable, and at times even proved herself better than him.
Oh my god, yeah, she is stronger
So, like, the notion of him being like, you know, I know what's better here, like, bitch, no you don't, shut up. But him leaving her does make sense. Because, like, they can't really be together because it's a constant risk. Like, if he, like, you know, it's like he can't ever be allowed to be happy with her.
They can't have sex. This is the issue. They cannot have sex.
They cannot have sex, but also, yeah, like, it's just like the second he becomes happy even for a second with Buffy, he'll become jealous again, and that's
their love is too strong.
Yeah. So
that's true.
Like, I understand why. It sucks, and it's so sad.
Yeah.
But I get why.
And he breaks up with her right before prom? Are you joking me? And then shows up there like he's, you know, freaking knight in shining armor, and then dances with her. They have one perfect night, and then leaves again without a goodbye. I was just like, you are toying with her. Like, he probably thinks he's doing the right thing, all that. But I was like, ouch.
It hurts him too, though.
I guess. But who has stronger feelings? A 200-year-old vampire or a 16-year-old girl? I'm gonna say it hurt Buffy more.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
I'm just saying.
Right there. 16-year-old girl is definitely feeling worse.
You got a lot
that.
of feelings.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oof.
It's like crazy, but I think back to being a teenager and just how emotional I was on a daily basis. Like, just like, it's almost embarrassing to think back on, where I'm just like, me scream crying and slamming my door, and I'm just like, I never scream cry and slam my door anymore. Maybe we should bring it back.
I completely feel that. I feel like I've just trauma blocked out a lot of
does.
my teenage years.
Yeah, you're just like, you know what? Let's not look at it. It's not pretty.
We don't need to remember that. Let's just put that in a little box and lock it away.
Yeah.
For like
exactly.
go all Dr. Sleep on it.
Yeah, totally. And the thing about Buffy too is, like, it's so and I talked about this in another Buffy video I made, but she's a lone wolf at the end of the day, right? She's the Slayer. She has to be. It's ultimately, she's the chosen one. Ultimately, she is alone, even when she's with people. Like, that's part of who she is. But it just felt like there's like two moments in the series that I feel like she is completely barriers down with someone, and that is, I think, when she sleeps with Angel, which I understand. And then the other moment is in season 7 when she is like giving up on everything, and Spike like cuddles her for the night, and they have this like super intimate but non-sexual night together. That is so, like, that is her at her most like open, I'll say. And we're gonna get to Spike. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But
So
let
me hear your arguments for Spike, though. I want to know why you're Team Spike in this situation.
Yeah. So Spike is a complicated man. But the thing about Spike that is interesting to me is that he is an undead, soulless vampire until season 7. And he deeply loves on a level that you don't see from other vampires. So I do think in the series, in terms of vampires that we see on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you have the really in-depth characters that seem to have lived a long time. And then you have the daily killing vampires, which usually seem to be like pretty young vampires, I guess. Like the ones that we're not getting any story behind or anything like that. But Spike, the devotion that he has even to Drusilla, and then the devotion he feels with Buffy, and he has that much love without a soul, that he's willing to go to the ends of the earth to get a soul for Buffy. Just like, for me, I was like, a man that's down to go to the ends of the earth for you is just so, like, beautiful. And I also, I mean, I love a bad boy. That's always been my taste. And I said this in my last video, too, but I said how I love Travis so much because he's aesthetically a bad boy, but internally a good boy. Which is helpful.
Okay. We love that.
We love that. But for Spike, I was just like, he's so freaking hot. That's also for me. Like, he's hot on a level that I'm just, it's like the accent, the like, I don't care attitude, his like evil charisma, everything about it is like very intoxicating. So I think he's really hot. And yeah, the issues I have with Spike, which I don't remember feeling much when I used to watch Buffy, but on my rewatch, is that he's definitely a little stalkerish when he falls in love. It's a little...
Oh, I'd say it's more than a little.
It's a little creepy at times. Which is... But also, I think he is... It's kind of like a progression of his love, right? Where at first, it's like very stalkery and weird, because... He thinks it's weird. Like, he's like, oh, no, I can't be in love with Buffy. That's, like, the worst thing that could ever happen to me. So he's acting out in this very strange, aggressive, weird way. And then it's like, you know what I think it changes is when Buffy is, like, sitting on her back porch, and it's her birthday, and he, like, comes and... sorry. It's the time where she's sitting on her back porch, and I think Spike has come to kill her because he can't love her, so he's like, I'm just gonna kill her. Here I go. Right. And he shows up and he sees that she's sad, and then he just like sits down and like comforts her, and then I think that's like kind of him accepting the fact that he just loves her, and that's just who he is now. And then it's like creepy. I know. I talked about this scene in my last video.
Oh, you did?
It is just the worst writing decision of any TV show ever.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
Mad.
Yeah, I can definitely understand why that would be a problematic decision.
Yeah, and I've listened to a lot of interviews with, like, writers and cast members that all have just been like, yeah, that should not have been in the show. Like, it wasn't... It didn't fit the narrative of Buffy and Spike, and it didn't... It's almost awkward to watch because it's so out of place in the series.
Yeah.
It's so uncomfortable in, like, such a epic way.
Well, I mean, James Marsters has talked about, he's like, I was not okay.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm sure not.
I usually try and avoid, like, watching any scenes that contain that. He's like, I wasn't okay. I was like,
yeah.
Thanks, Joss Whedon.
Oh my god. I don't even know who wrote that episode, actually. But either way, like, I understand that they needed a big event to lead Spike into going to get his soul, but I really think it could have been something else.
It definitely could have been something else. Like, that is...
Yeah. So whenever I think about Spike, I literally don't think about that scene. I'm literally like, that scene doesn't exist, which I know is not right. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, but so fine. So divorced of that scene, though, I would still consider his behavior a lot more obsessive than devoted.
Interesting. Even in, like, season 7? where he's like
season 7's a different story because he has a soul at that point. But like
right, true.
Like even with Drusilla in season 2, like it's more obsession than like.
Yeah. He's like, I need to love potion. I don't even know what accent that was. I'm sorry.
I mean, that was actually pretty close because like he's not actually British.
No. Oh my god. Did you know that when he auditioned with a Texan accent because he thought that would be like. Yeah, because they thought like maybe he was like kind of a rough and tough like vampire because they didn't know Spike's journey at that point. Like Spike was supposed to just be for season 2, and then everyone loved him.
And then they made him like an English punk, which I think is kind of fitting for him.
Oh yeah, and that's clearly why I think he's so hot. Like it's like
it's the accent.
it's the accent. It's the attitude. It's like
I feel the same about Drusilla, so I get it.
About Willow?
No, about Drusilla.
Oh, about Drusilla. I thought you said Willow. Sorry, my internet keeps cutting out, so I'm just like, what does that have to do with Willow?
It's also probably my internet.
Yeah, Drusilla's such a great character. She's so crazy.
I love her.
So crazy. Yeah. But it's so funny because I feel like if I had not rewatched the series for this, I would be rooting for Spike so much more than I am in this video. But I've always just loved him. And you know what else it is too is when I think back to when I watched this for the first time, and Buffy does have sex with Angel, it goes very badly, right?
Yes.
Obviously. And then it's interesting because the sex that she has with Spike is like kind of a huge part of that season, and it's very aggressive and ultimately toxic in a lot of ways. But it's interesting to watch those scenes and watch Buffy be like matched in power in a non-fighting situation. Does that make sense? And so I don't know. There was also something, I'm sure also just me as a teenager being like, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen. Break down this building.
And yeah, I have one other major pro Angel category. Cookie monologue in the last episode.
Oh, I think it's cheesy.
No! Are you kidding me?
I think it's cheese
so
balls.
Cute. It's so cute.
I think it's cheesy. I feel it's funny because I feel the same way about the yellow crayon monologue. But I love what comes after, which is the like, I love you, I love you, I love you, like that whole epic.
The yellow, no, I agree with you on that actually. I think
like
it is definitely cheesy. Yeah, but no, the cookie I think the cookie thing's adorable.
Oh, she's like she's like talking like that. She's like, well, I'm just cookie dough. I'm just like, stay. That's 2 cheese balls for me. I don't know why.
Oh my god, she does say it like that.
Does it? She talks like a baby in that whole little like weird thing.
She does. Oh god.
And that's
I can't unhear that.
That's also something that happens with Buffy and Angel, and I think it's probably because of how their relationship like started when she was so young. But she definitely is much more sweetie pie, honey bun, vulnerable with Angel, and with Spike, she's like, you know,
he's her first love though. That's why.
I know. Yeah.
And also. Like, the 2 actors were, like, pro that ship also.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And it does, I mean, I understand, first love, it's like, I mean, it's totally overwhelming. And so it makes sense that they will always be connected in that way. But, I don't know. And I didn't like how, like, Angel would just come back to town to, like, help Buffy or do something.
He's not perfect.
And then, like, not even let her know he was there. And I was just like, how old are you? Like, you're so immature.
Yeah, well, they do address that in
like,
Angel,
Spike,
though.
he's crazy, but he's really up front. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, to the point where he's like a jackass, though. What?
Totally. Something else I like about Spike is that he is, after he kind of confesses his love and, like, it's out in the open, whatever, his love is not, and I don't mean this in a stalker way, like, his love is there even if he's denied. So he's like, I love you, and that's just who I am now, and I'm gonna help you with whatever you need because I love you. And if you don't want me, that's fine, but I still love you. Like, there's something about that is just like it's not. That's why I'm like, it's not it's a deep love versus an obsession thing, because like, he'll do anything for her, anything she needs, always be on her side, always stand up for her no matter what. And even if she's like, I'm using you, he's like, I know, but I just want to be near you because I love you and I want to be around. Like,
yeah, I mean, that is kind of the bittersweet bit of like his last line to her in Buffy too.
Oh, see, that part just takes
yeah,
my breath away.
That line hurt me. That line did hurt me.
It's like, no, you don't. But thanks for saying it.
Yeah, that.
And when their hands are on fire, and I was just like, what is that? It's so good. It's so good.
I love it. I love it. Such a good show.
But obviously, and the other weird thing about both Angel and Spike is like, if this was real life, but if this was a series that continued forever and ever, and Buffy got older and whatever, it's like, what would the end be for either couple? Like, it is that tragic thing is on both ends. Like, I think there is a line somewhere where Buffy's like, someone's like making fun of her in a intense way about, you know, having sex with Spike. And she's like, I don't picture little blonde babies running around. Like, it's like, she ultimately knows with both of them that eventually she's going to get old and die. And so neither of their loves are complete loves because they cannot stand the test of time. Mm-hmm. Like, they just can't.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. So it's just sad, really.
Yeah.
But I hate Riley, and he's not even in the conversation.
Riley sucks. I don't think anybody likes Riley.
He's so annoying.
He's the worst
love
interest in the whole show.
Yeah, and he's there for so long. I'm just like, we don't need him anymore.
So long. Season 4 is the worst because of Riley.
Yeah, and it's like, Buffy has darkness in her. Like, that is brought up throughout the series. Death is her gift, blah, 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 blah. There was a darkness inside of her, and whoever she loves, like, there has to be, not that it has to match her darkness, but there has to be something there, to, like, balance her. Like, she can't just date a normal guy. Like, it's just not gonna work. Not that she always has to date vampires, but, you know.
I mean, it is still technically going. There's still comics that are, like, still going on.
I know. I read the first couple, and though it was, like, fun for a second, like, I wasn't actually very taken with the plots. So I was just kind of...
No? I never read them, so I don't know. I don't know. I have to... I was like, maybe I should, and then I'm like, no, I kind of want to leave the series, like, untainted. And
that's how, like, I feel like the series ended... Like, the last season had some issues, but the final episode, like, ended so well for me.
Oh, I totally agree.
It was so... I was like, this is a perfect goodbye. Thank you. Complete. That's it. But I guess what I want to know most from this video is all of your perspectives. So please, down in the comments, I want to know if you are on Team Angel or Team Spike, and your why. I just want to know your why. If you're on Team Spike, feel free to leave out that one scene that I hate. Or don't. If your truth is that scene exists and you think Spike would have done that, live your truth down in the comments. You do you. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much, Lee, for hanging out on my channel again.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I will talk to you all soon. Have an ice cream. Bye.